Woo, woo, woo. Should we get out of the way? So we're synchronized. Go. Oh, you do that.
It was truly astonishing to see, scratched nearly 4,000 years ago, a symbol which is the origin of a letter I use every single day.
We're looking at something that doesn't look very impressive to start with, because you're like, well, a few little inscriptions, and we've seen much more beautiful and bigger ones. But these ones are super, super important because it's part of the Proto Sinaitic or Proto Canaanite script.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a script where every character represents a sound, which is what we have in our alphabet, right? There you have the A, is the A sound, and the languages before that, like the hieroglyphic, it's made up of symbols. So a picture has a certain meaning. This is the first alphabet where every character is a sound. So it's a proper alphabet as we know it. Like
This is the first alphabet
in history.
in history. So can you read any of it?
There's like a little box which represents a house, which would have been Beit
Or Baita in Hebrew?
Beit, yeah, similar word, and so that is the sound B. And then there is a squiggly bit, looks like a wave.
That's under the house.
Yeah, like in that horizontal
Yeah.
line there.
Yeah,
And that's the symbol for the letter M.
which is Maya.
Maya or Mim.
Me.
So that would be the letter M. And then from this alphabet, all the alphabets in the Middle East and then later on the Latin alphabet are derived. So the Phoenician alphabet and the Arabic alphabet and all the Semitic languages all come from
This one.
This one, yeah, because it was just much older than anything that they knew before.
How did they break the code?
Well, there was an Egyptologist called Sir Alan Gardner, and he had the Sphinx that he could study. And the Sphinx was found by Hilda Petrie in one of the mines. The Sphinx had two inscriptions. So there's hieroglyphic on one side, Proto Canaanite on the other side. And the hieroglyphic was very easy to read. It said, "To the beloved of the lady." The lady would have been Hathor, the main goddess. But to the Canaanites, the main god would have been Baal, and the beloved would have been Baalat. So he knew, okay, this has to end with a T, and there has to be a B in there, and there has to be an Aleph sound in there, and a Lem sound in there. So all of these sounds were in there. So he had something to go by, and by doing this, he could break the code. And he figured out, okay, this is an alphabet whereby the symbol for house, Beit, just means B, because it starts with a B. And he was able to break the code this way, and that's how they figured out how to read Proto-Canaanite.
So how did it go from the ox to the A?
Well, so the ox head was something that was already used by the Egyptians as a hieroglyph. And then the Canaanites looked at the same symbol, but they would call it aluf, because that's what they would call a bull. So that's a bull in their language, starting with A, aluf. And they made it a little bit more simple, so just the head with the horns, like you see here on the rocks as well. And then a couple of hundred years later, the Phoenicians changed the symbol again by turning it and making it into this symbol. And then after that, it was used as the Latin A, which we still use today. So basically the horns are just touching the ground now.
Almost all the letters of the Latin alphabet are ultimately derived from the hieroglyphs that the Canaanites of Serabit chose to represent the sounds of their tongue. the broken rectangle that was the Egyptian sign for house was abbreviated by the Greeks, flipped by the Romans to create the Latin B. There were two Egyptian signs which represented snakes. These became the Greek Nu and RN.
So, what was the Egyptian word for head?
We don't know exactly, but something like tap, top. But it's of no interest for the Canaanite.
What is their word for head?
Very different. Rosh.
Rosh, with an R.
Yes, with an R at the beginning, and here they will reach the R.
So this is the Canaanite
This is the Canaanite
head.
Yeah. Then the Greeks making a rather more abstract representation of the head here,
Right.
even though you can see the general idea of head.
The Romans turned everything the other way, systematically. Everything is in the leading direction. But it's been centuries and centuries since we've seen any kind of image in this, and I don't think anybody would know that behind that letter is actually a profile of a head.
Yes, again, the Egyptian hieroglyph is hiding in the R.
Right.
They're always hiding.
But it's not just Latin and Greek letters that derive from Serabit. Almost all the world's alphabets share this same root. Scripts like Hebrew, Armenian, Cyrillic, Tibetan, Devanagari, Gujarati. What Khaddad and his followers did in the minds of Serabit changed the world. They were not scribes or scholars, but when they adapted the rebus principle, which was the basis of all ancient scripts, to make the first letters, they created a form of communication which would eventually sweep the globe.
What do you think of the cave?
Very good. Really, probably one of the best caves I've seen so far.
And you in it?
Yeah. Awesome.
And Canaanite language
Yeah.
descriptions.
So cool. Yeah.
That's in our way back from the Canaanite language cave.
Very cool.
The women's bed. Yeah.
What are you doing here?
We're resting our feet. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
having a wee little break on our way down.
Where you have been?
Tall women's to the temple. Of
Temple of
Hathor.
Hathor.
Yeah. And to the
And-
mines.
Mines of what?
You see,
Turquoise.
Well,
Lucy's been down the pit.
The muddy mine. Yeah. Sorry.
and here's some dirt as well.
Huh?
You wanna work in this one?
No, I'm good. Yeah. Worked enough. Ready to
Yeah, I
go
think
down.
we're ready enough for the
Yeah.
busy day. Nice view.
Momin, our guide. المركب تحت هنا صح؟ مش كويس ان هم مشوا.
We're going down the mountains. Very, very slowly. We're really safe. See? Mia, mia, Asalia, Colosenatameia.
Beautiful carving. Phonic boards. And hieroglyphic writings.
Very
That
cool,
is the
huh?
Canaanite god
All
here.
the hieroglyphics. Yeah. This one, huh? With this
Yeah.
big bumpy
Wait,
head.
wait, 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 wait.
I'm usually way up past it. When I'm at the lagoon, I'm on the beach.
That's the Canaanite god.
Yeah. With the big.
That's what we
Headdress.
promised to show when we were in the
Wherever I go is by two.
episode of Naomi's.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the
exactly.
Canaanite
Yeah,
god
that it
in
shows
the
in here.
Hathor temple.
Does that
Yeah.
look to you like a live bird?
Yeah, That's the offering to the gods. That's the god in front of him,
Yeah.
and the
there.
king give the offering to the gods.
But this is not a king, is it?
It's a king,
Because he doesn't have the specific.
or maybe worker.
maybe
I
a
mean,
normal,
like, yeah,
normal guy.
yeah. But he's give offering
Bring
to the god.
Yeah, yeah.
And the god is in the boat.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think this is a dead person going with the boat to the god.
But
Maybe.
I don't think they're all from the same time.
Yeah.
And they're all like different sizes and kind of different styles. But yeah.
By the way, we are not Egyptologists. We just trying our luck with these things.
Yeah, but certain things we do know, like the boats are really beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah. Look at that one. Yeah, that wood. With the ox. And
Is
like,
that the ox? On the,
I
no,
don't know what
the
this
wild
gazelle
animal.
or like what that one.
And also the animal on the
And
wall.
this is like this animal is what you call it? It's ostrich, yeah.
Yeah, that's an ostrich. Sure.
Yeah. Wow. And the hieroglyphic in the top of it. Yeah. You can see it now.
So we synchronize. Go.
Oh, you do that.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Video.
You're in a video? We're going. Look, down. You feel me? Wow. Oh, this is cool. Oh, hello.
And now we're stuck.
No. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, again. Oh, yeah.
Video.
You're in a video. We're going. Look, down. You feel me?
So
Whoa. Oh, this is cool.
it's Robbie.
Whoa.
Where is Robbie?
I don't think it wants to be too close.
Again.
Back.
I don't think this thing was going anywhere.
We can stay here and go up and down.
Woo! Should we get out of the way?
One good thing about the
This is
British
rice.
photographers, they were good.
And
They
this is
were
potatoes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did a
Okay.
the community did all the photographers. Yeah.
Soup, you want soup?
You have a photographer, but they allocated a photographer. These are the ones. They're like,
Hello guys, dinner time. Probably the entrance. That's a balcony. The balcony in the church. Very beautiful view.
was some from them entertaining
Yeah.
music.